are the most wearable fall fashion items for 2022? In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some fall fashion items that I picked up throughout the month that are easily wearable for most styles. Now, I do got a bunch of hidden gems in this joint, so you're going to want to watch the entire video all the way through. Make sure you go down and smash the like button, but we're going to go ahead and get into the first piece. So the first item we're going to show off today is a pair of shoes from REPRESNT. Now, I've had a pair of footwear from them before if you see my previous videos, and I was definitely blown away. So went ahead and scooped the Raptor Lows in the clay colorway. Now, like I said, I've had some footwear from REPRESNT in the past, and the quality of them really blew me away, and it was no different with this pair right here. And the colorway is actually perfect for the fall season. So if you're into those like neutral or earth tones, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. But you have your full constructed upper in leather. You have different panelings as far as the mud guard, your perforated holes in the toe cap, and then of course you have your clay overlay of this nubuck leather. So you can already see the amount of paneling and details and the quality of materials used. So in the interior, you also have a very plush material, and then you have the REPRESNT logo on the insole. Now, as far as the bottom goes, you have your full tan midsole with, of course, your lining of stitching across it, but you also have your REPRESNT embossed logo in the back of it. Now, for the outsole, you just have a black on black outsole, kind of like a typical tread, and then you have the REPRESNT logo in the middle. So the overall quality of the shoe is amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to adding it into my rotation for the fall season. But we're gonna move on into the next item. But moving on into the next item, I did want to say that you guys can check out any of these pieces with the links down in the description if you are interested. But I have this next piece right here, which is a hat, and it is actually called the Initial Cap in this vintage brown colorway. Now, this isn't a typical fitted hat. It's actually made out of a wool material. So if you look really closely, you will be able to see sort of like this fuzzy texture that is much different from a lot of the hats that I see nowadays. So definitely a cool touch to add to it. It really gives it a warmer feel. But other than that, you have your R logo on the front, you have your New Era logo on the left side, and then you have your small R initial on the back. So I'm not going to talk your guys' head off too much, but this is definitely a fire hat. Now, staying in the category of accessories, before we get into some of the crazier stuff, I did pick up this Initial leather belt in this black colorway. Now, honestly, I just needed a leather belt because the belts that I currently have are a little bit more standout-ish than your typical leather belt. So I wanted to make sure I grabbed one that was really cool looking, but still simple enough to go with some of the more simplistic outfits that I have. So definitely grab this. You have your R logo. It fastens from like this small little like knob is what I would call it, but it definitely connects well, and it is a very simple look. Now, moving on, we probably got one of my favorite items out of the REPRESNT pieces, and it is going to be this Initial boucle sweater in this cobalt colorway. So this shirt right here really has that luxurious feel, and I feel like it's based off of the materials and the textures used. So this is also made out of a wool nylon blend, and it feels really soft to the touch and soft on the skin as opposed to some of the scratchier type of wools. But it has sort of like this pilling effect that really brings out any other texture that you combine with it. So if you're looking to pair this with like a leather or a wax denim or just a flat denim, this is definitely going to stand out a ton. But the fitting on it is very oversized. It is one of the aspects that I like of the sweater. You also have your different logos, like your big Initial R on the left side, and also your little REPRESNT tab on the bottom. Now, the next piece that I have is also a wool piece, and it is called the Textured Wool Overshirt. Now, everyone needs a good overshirt for the fall, and I feel like this one is right up my alley. It's also, like I said, made out of this wool material, and they have this pilling effect on this as well. Definitely a lot different from the texture from the blue sweater, but this joint right here is also going to be one of those things that if you're wearing an all black outfit and you want to switch up the textures, this is going to be the one for you, and it's going to be very cozy for the fall season. The cuts and the fitting on this is also very nice. I went with the size large, so I would say it kind of fits a little bit oversized, but not nothing too crazy to where you should size down or anything like that. But definitely a nice fitting on it. I feel like the silver jewelry and everything is just going to pop a lot when I wear this, so definitely looking forward to it. On the back, you have your signature cut across across the back, and it has like this V cut closer up to the neck, which you will see later on that is a very common signature from Represent. Now, if you guys are anything like me, I know you've been having your eye out on which puffer you want to cop for the fall winter season, and I went ahead and seen this on the Represent website, and it was an easy cop for me. And I'm going to explain to you more why it's actually perfect for the fall season. So this is called the Wash Puffer Jacket in the brown colorway. Now they do also have a tan colorway, but I felt like the brown was just more me. But to get more into the specs of the jacket, you have these diagonal stitchings across the puffer jacket. So it is made out of a full nylon and is filled with duck feathers. So definitely cozy, but one thing that you will notice is that it's very lightweight. So it's one of those jackets that is perfect for that transitional season between fall and winter because it's heavy enough to keep you warm, but definitely light enough to where you're not getting too hot. So it's easily something you can pair with maybe like cool 50-degree weather and be chilling in it. So a bunch of different details. You have your diagonal stitch that holds in the duck feathers, so it sits a little bit different on the body. You have the same kind of concept on the back, and then like I said, you have your signature like V cut with the Represent logo on the upper towards the neck. So definitely a fire piece. You do have a couple of different initial logos on the zippers, and that is about it. So definitely something that you guys should keep in mind if you're looking for a lightweight puffer jacket. Now the last item that I got from Represent before we move on into another brand is going to be these tech cargo pants in the dark oak colorway. Now this colorway actually matches the puffer jacket perfectly, like it doesn't even make sense, but I bought them separately and didn't even realize how well it would go. But these joints right here are made out of a polyester cotton blend, and they just feel very lightweight. Like it is that perfect cargo tech type of pants if you are looking for one. The fitting on it is a very straight leg fit, so you don't have any weird tapering or anything like that. And the details on it are just very well crafted. Like you have this large cargo pocket on the right side, which actually has a hidden pocket under it. So you actually have this slit to where you can just pull this really secretive zipper. And I just felt like that was a cool touch and still makes them look very minimalistic as opposed to your typical cargo pants. But you have a couple of different other details. You have your Represent tab on the back of it. You actually have, again, your little diamond cut or triangle cut towards the waistline, which I thought was pretty cool and consistent. And then you also have your R initials on the like calf area, so you can adjust it and pull them a little bit tighter if you want a tighter calf fit. But overall, just a very nice fitting pair of pants. I went with a size large in these pants. I'm typically a 32 to kind of give you guys some reference. Also with the other tops that I got from Represent, I also went with a size large, and I'm about 6 foot, so that should give you guys a guide on purchasing. Now, when I talked about that hidden gem that I had in here, this gonna be the brand right here, bruh. These pants are so crazy. They have a jacket to go with it as well, but it's from the brand called the Revelatory Story. Now, these joints right here, bruh, are some of the craziest cargo pants that I have in my collection. And I got some fire joints. I got some joints from Rick, you know what I'm saying? I got some joints from a Cold Wall. Everybody that makes fire cargo pants, I dang near got a piece from them. And these right here is top dog competitors, bruh. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So these are just called the multiple pocket pants on their website, but the different aspects and the layering and the construction of these are crazy. So it feels, I'm not even sure what type of material they've used on these, but feels very high quality. It kind of reminds me of like a nylon or like, you know what I'm saying, some type of like waxy blend almost, but very much in a techie type of way. But anyway, to start off with the upper of the pants, you have your elastic waistband. So this kind of reminds me something of like a lot of the Rick Owens cargo pants, and I feel like you can easily be able to grab the correct size that fits you perfectly. So with that being said, you don't have to do any type of adjusting or any type of stuff like that when it comes to the waist. But what's crazy about these pants is definitely gonna be the pockets and how adjustable they are. So you have these big cargo pockets on both sides, which of course unzips, and then you have a ton of room. But what's crazy is you can lift these pockets up and then have your regular pocket on the underside of it, which is crazy. And now I know y'all are like, oh, you can just flip the pocket up, right? these pockets snap on here, and you can literally snap them off if you don't want these pockets on your pants. So if this is a little too crazy for you, you can snap the entire thing off. But I'm gonna keep it on because, you know what I'm saying, that's one of the most fire parts of the pants. But on this same paneling that has these huge pockets, you also have a couple of different zipper details that really makes it look stand out-ish. They don't really have a function, but they are there and make it look cool. But moving down along the pants, you also have this contrast stitch tab that runs all the way throughout the kind of like crotch area, and I feel like that just added another subtle touch of like designer details that I definitely needed, you feel me? So, but under that you have another set of cargo pockets, which just adds to the entire look of cargo pants. You could never really have too many pockets, you feel me? And right beneath that you have this zipper that I would say is more so like on the inner knee, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have a function as well, it's just there for looks. And then you have your cargo pocket right under that. Then to add the cherry on top, they added the flare zippers. Like, you, come on, bro. Like, these are too crazy of a pair of pants to not be on the lookout for it. And I don't like to gatekeep, but if I was to gatekeep something, it would be this. But y'all know I don't do that. Y'all know I share the sauce with the gang. But the next piece that he created is called the crossover jacket, and this is made out of more of like a silky material. So you guys will obviously be able to see the difference between this and the cargo pants, but you definitely have a bunch of the same details in this jacket. So it's pretty much like a bomber jacket with a completely different cut, but you do have your elastic ribbings towards the neckline, and you can also cover it up with like this extra piece that buttons. Now, like I said, in the cargo pants, you can actually snap this off, but what it looks like is you can play around with where you want to put this piece. And I see other places that you can button. So I'm thinking you can take this off and actually button it on different parts of this jacket, which is wild, bro. Like, it doesn't even make sense with some of the detail that he added in to this brand, but the cuts of the jacket is really what makes it far more unique. So you know how you have your typical cut for the shoulders, this one has something that's completely different. It kind of wraps around the shoulder as opposed to it being a straight cut. So definitely a nice cut and sew pattern that he used on this. It took a lot of extra thought and engineering, so I can really appreciate the amount of detail that he put into the jacket. Moving on towards the bottom, you do have your two zipper pockets, and then you have this very unique cut that kind of goes further past the waist, which kind of contrasts the back of the jacket because the back is very cropped. So it almost comes up into like a tuxedo type of cut, I would say, but it's very much more rounded and sits in a crop type of look. But overall, definitely an insane jacket. The links will be down in the description if you want to see any of those pieces. Now, moving on in brands, we have the brand Already Written, and if you've been a fan of the channel, you've probably seen this brand multiple times. They kill it with t-shirts and leather pieces, so every time I see them drop something new, I'm already on it, you feel me? So this right here is called the paneled leather biker jacket, and for obvious reasons, because opposed to your typical leather biker jacket, this one has the paneling on the body and on the arms as well. So you do have some of your more signature or typical aspects to a leather biker jacket, like the collar. So he made sure and added that in with the Already Written buttons with the cross logo as the fasteners. But overall, the constructions and the different stitchings and layerings on this jacket really makes it nice. Of course, the leather is buttery smooth, so definitely gonna be an easy addition to the fall wardrobe. And I couldn't just grab the leather jacket without grabbing the leather shorts as well. So I've actually had my eye out on a good pair of leather shorts, especially for the summer, because I feel like that material can kind of just contrast a lot of the outfits. I wear leather pants a lot during the like fall, winter, and spring season, so to have it in shorts is definitely going to be a plus. Obviously, you're probably not going to wear them as often in the fall, but it is definitely a good thing to have along with the jacket. So I grabbed these. They are more reminiscent of maybe like a boxer short, so you do kind of have this like elastic type waistband with your drawstring on it, and then of course you have the panelings similar to the jacket. In addition to those other pickups from Already Written, I had to go ahead and and grabbed the Riot Heat, and I actually showed it off on my Instagram story, and a lot of you guys were asking about it. So this is a very boxy tee. You do have drop shoulders on it and a cropped bottom, as well as a more wide fitting collar. So definitely a cool shirt. The graphic on it says expect a riot, and kind of like this puff print type of feel. It doesn't feel really puffy like a lot of the puff prints nowadays, but it just has that raised feel in this red colorway. And I like how he kind of blended the letters to kind of make it readable but unreadable at the same time. But I think it's a really cool graphic, and it was an easy cop for me. Now last but definitely not least, we got some pickups from my boys over at MXDVS. Now, y'all know I have been showing a lot of their stuff off from the very beginning, and this hat is definitely gonna be added into the fall rotation when it comes to accessories. Now, this right here is called the bolted hat, and if you look along the edge, you have a bunch of bolts screwed on into the hat, which I have never seen on a hat at all. So as soon as I seen it, picked it up, and it's just been a gem in my essentials ever since. I feel like everybody needs a good black hat, especially if you are into that like dark fantasy type of look. But this one is really cool. You have your Clover logo on the front. You also have this huge safety pin on the side of it, and a little bit of de-stressing on the brim. But definitely a hard hat. I'm gonna show y'all this bag. So this right here is called the World War II Backpack, and anybody who is into like your military style gear, this is definitely gonna be right up your alley. As a matter of fact, the whole brand will probably be right up your alley because they have a lot of military inspired stuff. But this right here is a canvas backpack with a bunch of patches on it to kind of give it that real vintage military feel. So you have your TriStar patches, you have this like elephant with like bat ears, I guess would be a good way to explain it, which I think is really fire. But of course, once you unclip the bag, you also have more patches on the bottom portion of it. So definitely cool, a bunch of different straps, and they are all adjustable, of course. And the boy blessed me with some more goodies in the inside, like this bottle right here. So I'm not gonna talk too much about all the extra stickers and stuff that he put into the bag, but MXDVS is one of those brands that pays a lot of attention to detail. But that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you go down and smash the like button. Comment down below what you guys will be wearing for this fall, so we can all as a community go down and check it out and kind of brainstorm ideas of what heat we finna be putting on for this fall fashion season. So that's pretty much it, man. Like the video, like I said, subscribe, follow the boy on Instagram if you haven't yet, and I'll be back to you guys with more videos, man. Peace.
I'm trying to keep my cool. Roll out of bed, roll up a little bamboo. Think I'm stressed, I ain't worried about what you doing. Look how real, baby, this ain't no cool.